Hey everybody, it's Brother Bopst here, and what I want to do real quick is just talk about a verse that I keep hearing people bring up as a proof text for the doctrine of the Trinity in the sense that they're three separate persons, right? And so I keep hearing people quote, they isolate Genesis 1:26, right? And so let's read what it says real quick. The Bible says in Genesis 1:26, it says, "And God said, let us make man in our image," obviously plural right there, us and our, "after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So it's clearly showing, let us, and it says our. Those are both plural, obviously. But then you have to read verse 27, because verse 27, right, shows basically exactly what's happening. It says in Genesis 1:27, "So God created man in his." His is singular. His own image. In the image of God created he. He is singular. One God, he created man in his own image. And it says, "In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them." And so that's why when I get to heaven, I'm going to see God who looks like me, because I look like him. I'm made after his likeness. I'm not going to stand before a panel of three men and say, that's what image I made in. I'm going to see him, right, the one true God, and I'm literally going to look like him. We're going to look like each other because I'm made in his image, right? And so one of the best ways to, since we've already seen the beginning, well, let's look at the end. Okay, it says in Revelation chapter 22. Let's look at Revelation chapter 22 real quick. Because if you know the end, sometimes it'll kind of explain the beginning. It says in Revelation chapter 22, verse 1, "And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne," one throne, "of God and of the Lamb." Now I've heard people try to say that this is the throne of God and the throne of the Lamb, that there are two thrones sitting beside each other, they're side by side. But here's the problem with that. Read verse 2. Just read verse 1. It says, "And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne." And so there's one river, right? It can't proceed out of the throne of two different thrones, right? Because it's proceeding out of the throne, right? One throne, one river, proceeding out of it. And it says in verse 2, "In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river," right? It's the river, and on either side of it was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Verse 3, "And there shall be no more curse, but the throne." Once again, it's one throne. And now, it says the throne of God and of the Lamb. So either two people are sitting in the one throne, which to me is, that just doesn't make any sense. Or it's saying that God and the Lamb are the same. They're the same God. Now, if you don't believe that, let's keep reading. Verse 3, "And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it." This is the same as like Genesis 1:26. People want to say, well, look at the plurality here. But the next verse is going to explain to you what it says. Because it says, "But the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his." His is singular. "His servants shall serve him." Singular. His and him are singular. So it's talking about the one that sits upon the throne. You say, well, I still think it's two people. Let's read verse 4. Verse 4 says, "And they shall see his face." One face, his, singular. "And his name," one name, "shall be in their foreheads." And so what we can deduce from this is that God and the Lamb are the one true God. It's the one God. That's why it's going to be one throne, one river proceeding out of it, and it says that we're going to see his face, and we're going to have his name. And so while people want to focus on the plurality, okay, you need to understand that there's also the one true God. And so I am made in the image of God. I'm three parts, right, of the same person. You don't see three different people walking around. I'm one man. Now my parts can be separated. Obviously, many of you already know the analogy of if I die, my body's on the ground, my soul and spirit are in heaven. They can be separated, but they're one. When you see me, you're going to see the one person, but you're looking at all three parts of me. Okay, and that's why, when it says that we're going to go and we're going to see the throne with the river of life proceeding out of it, and we're going to see his face. Okay, we got to understand that it's talking about the one true God, because Jesus and the Father are one. I and my Father are one. And so I hope that really explains, because you got to want to not see that. I mean, that's what the Bible says. That's usually the following verse is going to explain the preceding verse. Okay, and so in both cases we've seen that the King James Bible is perfect, and it shows that God and the Lamb are the same God. It's the only reason Jesus can say, "I and my Father are one," because they are. And so I really hope that helps you guys. Please message me if you have any more questions, because that's just a real quick little Bible study. There's so much more evidence that shows these things. But God bless, and I hope that it's beneficial to you guys. All right, take it easy.